All right, welcome back, everybody. Hear Me Out podcast. Here with another episode, joined by my boy BT. As always, man. How you doing, Brody?
I am fantastic, man. Had a good day today. How about yourself?
Chilling, man. Had a productive day. Getting started with the stuff for the new job, like I told you about. Got recently hired by a drone company, so that's gonna be some fun stuff to do, man. I was doing that basically most of the day.
Big congrats to you, bro. Big
Uh,
congrats. Love to see it, man. Happy to for 2021 to be starting off so well for you.
Appreciate that, man. Likewise, bro. Likewise. I feel like 2021 has had some interesting moments already, but for the most part, it's looking up, man. We were on J&J every day yesterday. Shout out to them. We were on, I don't know what episode they're on. They're like in the 300s. Definitely go shout out to J&J. Go check them out. I'll put the link in the description. We talked about some of the stuff we'll be talking about today, including Mahomes' injury. Is he going to play or not? We talked about the new look Nets, but that was before Colin Sexton dropped a 40 piece on him, man. 2 overtime, 40 piece. He went crazy in the double overtime, 12 points in double overtime. What do you think about that game, bro? Do you think that Colin Sexton is getting enough or too much credit for this W against the new look Nets?
Man, the young bull went out there and he shitted on him, bro. It was amazing to see. I mean,
Yeah.
he had no fear pulling up over Kyrie, pulling up over Kevin Durant, a damn near 7 footer. I mean, the guy's got swag. The guy's got confidence. I love to see it. I mean, this is the same guy who took on. He went to Alabama in college. I think it was like Auburn or somebody like that. No, it
Mm-hmm.
was Tennessee. I think it was Tennessee. He took him on three on five after two of his teammates fouled out, didn't have
Oh,
anybody else to play with, and he almost led them to a victory. I mean, it speaks to this guy's competitiveness, and as far as him getting credit, I think he's getting enough credit, man, because you don't put on that type of performance against just anybody. Like, he had to step up. He did what he had to do. He did it in Kyrie Irving's old jersey number at
in his
Quicken Loans Arena in his shoes, in his jersey. I mean, you can't ask for anything else.
That's crazy, man. Colin Sexton went bananas, bro. This is a 145 to 130, 147 to 135 game. The Cavs are 7-7. The Nets are 9-7. But look, man, as much as this performance was really good by Colin Sexton, I think that he was getting a bit too much credit, just in the sense that I seen Colin Sexton. This is what most headlines said. Colin Sexton took down the Nets by himself, which isn't true because you have 147 points, which means you still got 100 plus from the other guys. If your main guy can drop 40 and the rest of the team can still get you 100 points, that's really good. And I think the bench too did a really good job because the Nets bench only had like 8 points last night. That's crazy, 120 something points for the Nets starters. You look at the Nets, or I mean not the Nets, the Cavs. Larry Nance had a good game with 15-8, 15-8 and 5 with 4 steals. You had Osman with 25, 7 and 7. You had double digits from Andre Drummond, a pretty underwhelming performance with only 6 rebounds. Usually he's out there dominating the glass, but it was a full team performance. You even had 3 guys come off the bench give you double digits with Tarian Prince, the newcomer Jared Allen, who used to play for the Nets, and Dotson too. Everybody in the plus of the plus minus is crazy, but I think that the Cavs supporting cast outside of Colin Sexton did not get enough credit. Not to say that the credit that Sexton is getting isn't warranted. I think that he's getting a little bit too much.
Yeah, I mean, and think about this, bro. They're 7-7 right now. They're the sixth seed in the East. I mean, who would have thought that they'd be sixth place in the East right now? The Knicks are playing really well. They're 7-8. I mean, this is the year of like the mediocre teams from the past really coming up. Unless you're the Wizards. I mean, I'm really impressed. I mean, I think they're number 6 defensively. I think they're like top 10 offensively. I mean, this team is really coming together.
Yeah, man, we're seeing the doormat teams just kind of rise up off the ground and starting to shake themselves off, man. They're starting to look pretty good. For all these years, the Sixers were some shit. For all these years, the Cavs have been bad. Now you got in the Knicks too. The Knicks are in the playoff hunt. It's crazy, bro. But this Cavs team, man, forget just last night. Colin Sexton is on a 20 point per game streak right now of like 8 or 9 games. I don't think he's gone under 20 this year. or if he has, it's been a little minute. So he is becoming a star before our eyes, man. He might just be what Cleveland has been missing since the old boy Bron.
Yeah, actually, I
That
mean, I
kind
don't think it's.
of city.
Say it again.
Do you think he got that kind of potential in that city?
To be like a LeBron, I mean, no one's gonna be like LeBron, but he's definitely gonna lead him to some bright lights and some good things. I mean, especially if they get into the playoffs. I mean, just like I said, he's a competitor. He's gonna lead that team to some really good heights, man. I can't wait to see what he does. I was kind of writing him off after last year, not being able to truly be the superstar that they thought he was gonna be. But right now, he's proving me wrong, and I love to see it.
Yeah, Colin Sexton is a stud, bro. He's pushing this Cavs team right now to the 6th spot in the East. Definitely impressive performances, man. And you mentioned the Knicks. Julius Randle's becoming a superstar. He's averaging like 23 and 11 with 7 assists per game. RJ Barrett before 5 p.m. be looking like Michael Jordan.
The Maple Jordan.
What's that?
It's a Maple Jordan.
Yes, sir. He doesn't like to be called Maple Mamba anymore, huh?
I never even heard Maple Mamba, but I heard Maple Jordan.
I heard him say that. It was like an ESPN report said he doesn't want to be called Maple Mamba out of respect. I'd never heard nobody call him that before.
Yeah, that's a new one.
Maple Jordan. We'll go with Maple Jordan. Yeah, man. So we see the Nets' new look. They had a 147 point. They allowed 147 points. What does that mean for this team, Brooks? Does that mean it's going to be straight offense all year? And can they do anything sustainable not being able to play any defense? Because 147 is like, that's bad, bro. That's real bad. Even if it's for 2 overtimes, that is really bad. Do you think that they can sustain like a high-level championship caliber chances without having any type of defense there?
Man, this finals are bust. It's championship or bust, I should say.
Yeah.
They have to be able to do it. I mean, you have 2 championship level guys with you in Kyrie and Kevin Durant. They have to be able to do it. The main thing is, like you said, who's going to be able to get a stop? Can you rely on KD to stop shots at the rim? Can DeAndre Jordan do it? Will Kyrie Irving be able to dig deep and get some stops? I mean, the one thing I like about him is the fact that he actually tries. He's not just letting people go by him. He wants to stop people. It's just that sometimes, you're not going to be able to do that. You can't stop a guy like Colin Sexton when he's that hot. So otherwise, he actually puts the effort in. I can't say the same for James Harden. But yeah, they have no choice, bro. They have to be a finals team. Otherwise, it's going to be an epic first take, HMO, J&J thing. We're all going to be just going hard at them because, you don't trade your depth away unless you have confidence that you're going to get to the finals.
Damn, you think it's championship or bust though, man?
Yes,
on first thought, you would think championship or bust, but you still got some years left on these guys' contracts, right? Like no one's contract is expiring, so I would say
until 2022 for all of them. They all have a player option until 2022, and then they can leave after that.
Oh, so shoot, this is not no championship or bust, man. I think if they don't win it by next year has got to be their championship or bust, because I think this year the Lakers are probably still the favorites. Most people, maybe some people are saying the Nets because on paper you got this trio, but I wouldn't say this year is a championship or bust though, man. I think they're in the same situation as the Clippers. People seen the Clippers last year. Some people said championship or bust, some people didn't. So I think they could be in a similar predicament where they have high hopes, they get to the end, and then it doesn't happen, and then they come back next year swinging.
Yeah, I was one of those people who was very, very wrong about the Clippers. And they're second place right now in the East, or in the West, excuse me, behind the Lakers. I think they're like a game and a half behind them. So, you never know. I mean, lowered expectations might actually help them. But, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, they have to be the leaders. And we're going to have to see what they do.
Yeah, Paul George starting to look like second year in OKC, third in the MVP vote in Paul George, man. I like to see it, bro. Like, they had that 50-point ass whipping the night after Kawhi got his face busted open by Serge Ibaka. So now the Clippers, this is looking like their championship or bust year, because if they lose again, and if they lose the way they lost last year again, bro, you're going to have to blow it all up, man. Even with Ty Lue, even with PG playing better, you're gonna have to blow it up, move somebody, get rid of Lou Williams, push Ibaka somewhere else. You're just gonna have to blow that whole operation up, man. Maybe even get rid of Kawhi. You got to see what's up. But this year is more of a championship or bust for them than it is for the Nets, because the Nets, I feel like, they're still fresh enough where they'll get a pass. The Lakers too, like, they just came off a chip. They'll get a pass. The most pressure right now, to me, is on the Clippers. But we will see, man. The playoffs is what really tells us everything we need to know. Right now, it's still Reggie season, beginning, man. It's all the beginning.
I disagree, bro. I think when you trade away what the Nets did from one guy, you put all the pressure on yourself. And all of us, all the podcasts, all the media people, we're all putting the pressure on the Nets to actually go out there and win. You see Stephen A out there saying they have to win a championship. Shaquille O'Neal agrees. Like, if you don't get it done this year, then you're putting more pressure on yourself into the next year. And the Clippers, I mean, they failed spectacularly. They didn't even want to be in the bubble in the first place, and it showed in the fact that they lost to the Nuggets as badly as they did. So, yeah, and the fact of the matter is, Kawhi Leonard, this is his last year with the Clippers if he doesn't sign a contract. Paul George, he just inked, what was it, a 4-year deal? I don't know why you do that, but they did. I mean, I agree. If you don't get it, you're kind of forced to load the team. You have no other choice. And who knows if Paul George is going to stay there. I mean, we can't trust his word. The dude said he wants to stay in Indiana, didn't stay. Wanted to stay in OKC, didn't stay. And he was there for 2 years. So we're going to have to see what happens.
I don't know, man. I think when you talk about who got the most pressure, right? You think of, or what does a championship or bust mean, right? I would say if you're talking championship or bust in terms of like validation, sure. But in terms of will they be able to win another championship after this year, I think they have a much better shot next year, and there'll be more pressure next year. This year, there is pressure, for the validation. You put all these guys together and you want them to win. It was like when the Heat joined. When the Heat joined, they were nice, but they lost, and they came out and they became even better the next year. I think that's what's going to happen to the Clippers this year. That's what happened to Miami in 2011. And I think we could see the same thing with the Nets. You got 3 guys two of them who have already played with each other. So I think, honestly, the pressure here, the championship or bust, is a little bit blown out of proportion. I think next year would really be championship or bust. This year, they still got some time. And they got a lot of offense, bro. They got a lot of movable pieces, too. They got time, man. They don't have to blow it up if they don't win this year.
No, I don't think they will. It's just you're kind of delaying the inevitable. Because, again, they have player options in 2022. So they can leave the Nets with absolutely nothing. Kyrie could leave and not have the Nets have anything. Kevin Durant, James Harden. I mean, and none of them are... It's not like, they have a long history of playing for these teams. Kyrie Irving, he might have the most to lose because he's from New York. Or he's from New Jersey. He's playing for New York. Like, he's probably the only one who's got the most to lose. So, yeah. I don't know, man. I'm gonna stand behind what I'm saying. I know you're gonna stand behind what you're saying. So
that's a fact, man. That's a fact. We'll see what happens. But definitely we agree that the Nets have a very good chance to win it all, and they should be able to go pretty far. But we'll see. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. Championship or bust for the Nets? Who got more pressure right now out of the Lakers, the Clippers, the Nets, all the top contenders, the real contenders? Who has the most pressure? Let us know in the comments. That includes Milwaukee, too. Other teams in the East that I may not have mentioned, Philly. Let us know who got the most pressure. Let's go ahead and transition to the gridiron. Patrick Mahomes has practiced for the last 2 days. He's been limited with the concussion. So we talked about it last time. It looks like when he got his neck yanked in Saturday's divisional round versus Cleveland, that he came up woozy and he was in concussion protocol. So he may or may not play this game. And I wanted to ask you, Brooks, do you think we talked about it yesterday on J&J? Again, link in the description for more in-depth on this one. We won't stay too long on this topic since we already talked about it, but do you think Mahomes misses this game? Do you think that the Chiefs will do you think there's any possibility that he doesn't play this game?
I think I got a notification last night that he was limited in practice. He wasn't full go, but he was limited. So that tells me he's well enough to go out there and do a little bit. So I say the chances are more likely that he does play. Anything is possible. We all know that, but I don't
Any
think I don't think Andy Reid's gonna try to trot out Chad Henne if he doesn't have to. Patrick Mahomes is gonna try like hell to play, and the main thing, the good thing about the Chiefs is the fact they actually have a pretty good offensive line. You know, what I mean, Patrick Mahomes doesn't take too many hits unless he's out there going on a run, rolling out whatever it may be, and the dude is fearless. Once again, I mean, he throws anything he wants to throw. He's not like a gunslinger like a Brett Favre is, but he definitely has less of a give a fuck, if you can say like that. And I love to watch him play. We all love to watch him play. We need to watch him play against Aaron Rodgers. No, I'm sorry, not Aaron Rodgers. Josh Allen. I'm speaking ahead of myself. That's gonna be a fun.
you're in the future right here. I like that.
Yeah.
You see what's
I need to see it happen, bro. The baddest man on the planet versus the most talented quarterback in the world. Yeah, we need to see that matchup.
Damn. Patrick Mahomes, is he going to miss this game? You know why he's not going to miss this game? It's not because he's in practice. It's not because he was limited or whatever. This man, Patrick Mahomes, is not going to miss the game because the NFL has never, and this is because of that tweet I said today, made me think about it. The NFL has historically chose the sake of viewership and what's better for the league than player safety. So if we're talking player safety, I don't know. I think concussion can be anywhere from like 1 to 2 weeks. So if this were a regular,
all depends on how bad.
That's it. What was that?
So it all depends on how bad the concussion is. But go ahead.
It depends. Yeah, like it depends on the severity of the concussion. It could be 1 to 2 weeks, could be 3 weeks. But if this were a regular season game, maybe he'll miss it. But this is the playoffs, man. There's no way that the Chiefs medical staff and the NFL in general is not going to want to have Mahomes versus Josh Allen. I know you talked about it last time, or I forget who was about they're not into. Oh, I think it was Jay talking about he's not into the whole ratings conspiracy thing, man. But
yeah.
It's something to think about, man. It's something to think about. But just in terms of realistically, what do we know? Mahomes is a fighter, and he's not going to. If he can play, he will play. If he has functioning limbs, he'll go out there and play. I just hope it doesn't affect it, man, because the concussion can make you see double, man, and throw into some coverage. The Bills Mafia defense is nasty.
Let me ask you this, bro. If Patrick Mahomes does not end up playing, does it negatively impact his legacy in the season? And if they end up winning somehow, and he doesn't play in the Super Bowl against Aaron Rodgers, would that impact him as well?
No, man. If he doesn't play in this one, he'll be just fine. He's super young. He's 25 years old. He's still got 85% of his career still ahead of him. He'll be all right. He'll have plenty of other moments to make up for that, go in deep playoff runs. We still haven't seen Mahomes in wild card weekend. There's still a lot more first for him to experience, a lot more football for him to play. No. It's not going to affect his. As a matter of fact, it'll probably boost his legacy if he does play, if we're being honest.
Boost his legacy.
Think about that. Motherfuckers are the narrative is Patrick Mahomes a warrior. He went out there, he couldn't even see, couldn't even walk, and here he is going putting his heart and his soul for this Chiefs team, man. I think personally there's more of a positive narrative for him playing this game as opposed to him missing this game. I don't think anybody's going to give him any flack from. If anything, a lot of people don't want him to play, keeping him long term fresh and ready to go for the rest of his career. But he'll be all right.
We're gonna have to see, bro. I just want to see Aaron Rodgers in another Super Bowl. He needs to beat Tom Brady. We kind of spoke about it yesterday. But what are you expecting with this Packers Bucks game?
I slept on it last night, bro, and I was thinking it would be relatively easy for Aaron Rodgers, but the Bucks are nice, and they smashed the Packers early in this year. And Tom Brady getting into the championship game, been pretty unstoppable, man. I think this is like his 10th or 11th time in the championship game. He's only lost like twice. So we got to put that record into consideration. The team is finally playing with him. He got AB, he got Gronk, he got Godwin, he got Mike Evans, the best receiver on that team. Bruce Arians is starting to kind of get this team to play some really good football. If their defense can hold up, we've seen that defense get cooked before. 200 yards in one quarter type of cook from one person. So the defense is the only thing that worries me, bro. But if not for that, and my score changed. Yesterday I said 28-24. Today I say 38-34. But I'm still going to go with the bad man Aaron Rodgers, just because he is more hungry than Tom Brady. He has more pressure to win this game than Tom Brady. Tom Brady loses this game, people will praise him for making it this far. Aaron Rodgers doesn't win this game, his legacy might start getting questioned. So he has way more pressure to win this game.
I'm going to keep our prediction from yesterday, 28-24, but I feel like it's not going to be on Tom Brady's arm. I feel like Leonard Fournette's going to wake up. He's going to have a monster game because he had a really. I'm looking at the stats right now. He only had 367 yards
for the year.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying, bro. And 6 touchdowns only. So he's probably gonna wake up somehow. He's gonna have a huge game. He's gonna run the ball down the Packers' throat. We're not even gonna expect it. And I think that's gonna be the biggest factor. I mean, if you're gonna slay Tom Brady, you gotta slay him early. Wild card would have been the night to get rid of him, and now he's gonna be at his most dangerous. He's smelling the blood in the water. He's going to be hungry. This is going to be ring number 7 for him, possibly ring number 7. I mean, what better way to motivate yourself than to want to have more rings than a single franchise, bro? 7 rings would be more than the Steelers do. Think about how like big that will be for his legacy. Yeah, I mean, he's going to be just as inspired as Aaron Rodgers is, but Aaron Rodgers, once again, baddest man on the planet. Second most talented quarterback in the league right now. Yeah, it's going to be a shootout, or it's going to be really, really fun. It's going to be some smash mouth football. I can't wait for it. Devontae Adams, he's going to be talking a lot of shit to Tampa Bay, and I want to see that too.
Can't wait for this football to come on. Yo, so we got in the NFC, we got the old school Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, 43 versus 36. 2 guys that are winding down. Aaron Rodgers probably still got some time. The AFC, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, both 25 years old, 25, 24. The young guys, the old guys. We're going to see a clash. It's going to be the new school versus the old school, no matter which way it ends up. So that's already super exciting.
Facts.
Damn, man. This is looking real crazy right now. Is Mahomes going to play? Is Aaron Rodgers going to potentially get a chance to get his second ring, or is Tom Brady going to surpass the New England Patriots? Is he going to surpass the Pittsburgh Steelers and get his 7th ring to be the most ringed up individual ever, more so than any other NFL team ever? One guy, Tom Brady.
That's ridiculous, bro.
I've been hating on this guy, man, because he's so great. So great, it annoyed me. A guy who honestly lacks some talent. He just makes up for it with the cerebral part of the game. He's so smart, getting the ball out super quick, knowing where his guy and knowing what his skill set is. He knows he's not going to bomb it down the field every time. So he's able to get a lot of dink and dunks and stuff like that, but he gets it done, man. Tom Brady, let's see what he does. 38-34. I don't think they're going to win it, though. I'm taking any bets. On the HMO Discord, we'll put an invite link in the description. I'm taking bets for the conference championship. Anybody want to put their money up? Tom Brady is taking this L, and so is Josh Allen if Chad Hennessy does not play for the AFC championship. Let's see what happens. Anything is possible, baby.
Yes, sir. Two things. Let me say this. For one, I think it's funny that we keep on talking about Tom Brady doesn't have an arm, but this year, I don't have the stats in front of me, but I think this year he unleashed more long passes than he did before, and it was more accurate with them. So he does have a bit of an arm. He's just not as, like, that's just not his game. You know, he's, like you said, he's more dink and dunk. He's had some really good defenses around him. You know what I mean? You think back to, the biggest year was '07 when he had 50 touchdowns and he had like the great show on turf with Randy Moss and them. But otherwise, yeah, this guy isn't known for his arm.